At what point should one stop trying to do their part and solely rely on Emunah?
It's a very abstract question because it applies to many things. And the simple answer is your hishtadlus starts when you can't do any more hishtadlus. That's where your hishtadlus ends. The way the Eibishter created the world is Uberach Hashem Elokecha b'chol asher ta'aseh. You work as hard as you can, and what you cannot do, the Eibishter has to do for you. Now I understand quite well that there's a spirit to this question. And the spirit to this question is not how much a person should work, but how much emotion a person should invest. In other words, how hard should a person work on any area of life to take care of his health, to raise his children, to make a living, as hard as he possibly can. But how full of fear should a person become? And how worried should a person become? And how much of a personal responsibility should a person carry? In other words, how much of it's on him? And how much of it is on Hashem is really what you're asking. And I think you have to divide it into two parts. How much hishtadlus should you make physically? All the hishtadlus you can. How much worrying should you do? The answer is zero. Really, zero. So it's not a question of working hard or not working as hard. It's a question of putting more of yourself into your work or putting less of yourself into what you work. And of course, when you split this into two parts and you divide the hishtadlus into the action of making a living or the action of seeing a doctor or the action of trying to get special help for your children who have needs, whatever they may be, versus trusting that Hashem will help. If you're able to separate the action from the emotion, you will automatically do less action. In other words, what happens to us, in everybody in their own areas, some people worry about panos, and they don't think anything else is worth worrying about, and it's just not the case. Some people don't worry about panos, but they worry about health, and drives them mad. And you don't have to worry about health either. You have to, everything with moderation. Some people worry about their children, and they worry about their children until they're mad. And in every area of life, you have this phenomena. If you're able to, at least intellectually, in your brain, separate what I'm doing and how I'm worrying. And say, what do I need to do? I don't need to worry, I need to do. Now, it's very difficult to separate the do from the worry. If a person's having a difficult time making a living, and they work as hard as they possibly can to earn money, and the money doesn't come as quickly as they can, they worry. The worry is not part of the hishtadlus. The worry is part of the mishagas. And the same is true when it comes to health, and the same is true when it comes to chinuch, and the same is true when it comes to shalom bayis, the same comes true to communicate, getting along in the community, and your employers and your employees. Every area of life, it's the same issue. And the truth is that when you're able to separate out what you need to do from worrying about how you feel, you'll know how much to do. We overdo not because of the action, but because of the emotion. In other words, we do things that it's not the pshat, it's more than we need to. It's counterproductive. It just doesn't help. A person has to make a living. Being nervous is not going to make them more money. It's going to make them less money. And when you take the nerves out of it, then you see practically how hard you should work. How hard you should work, as hard as you must. Don't only give 50% of yourself, give 100% of yourself to parnasa, 100% of yourself to health, 100% of your health to chinuch, 100% of your health to shalom bayis, 100% of yourself to be makadev another Jew. But do it, don't feel it. And when you're able to discern what's action and what's emotion, you'll see which actions are not positive at all. They're simply emotion. They're simply hysteria. It's not easy. But what I'm saying is real and true, I think.